Today I'm going to share with you everything we spent in the month of March 2025, and we are a family of 5 living in Perth, Western Australia. So there's me, my husband, and we've got 3 children and they're aged 8, 6 and 4, and this is everything that we spent. I track every single dollar that comes in and every single dollar that goes out, so I can be absolutely precise in what we were spending every month. Let's go and have a look at the numbers. I just want to give you a quick run through on my spreadsheet before we deep dive into it. So you can see I basically list everything that we spend through here on the bank statement. So we've got ANZ here, which is from our ANZ account, and I'll list absolutely everything that we're spending. I also have a category where we've got a Westpac bank account as well, and I use that one because that's a good one to get extra cash back, which is why I have my Westpac one. And then I've also got my gift cards as well, because I buy all my shopping for Woolies. I spend gift cards because you get 4% cash back. It's here, and then I'll categorize every single expense that's gone through. So we've got categories: our house, food, bathroom, cleaning, health, petrol, cars, school, daycare, exercise, pocket money, that's for the parents, general spending, kids, moving expenses, because we're hoping to move in 2025, and miscellaneous. So let's go and see what I've put in these categories in the month of March. Our first category is house. So this is anything to do with the house basically. So we've got our mortgage, utilities and streaming services in here. So for the month of March we spent $2,616. For our mortgage, we paid $2,026, so that was the majority of it. So which means we spent $589. So that was on our gas, water, electric, rates. We've got our internet. We're only paying for Netflix and Spotify at the moment. I find that's all we actually need. So always make sure you're cancelling ones that you're not using so much. And there's also just a couple of other small things. We got our $10 bank fee, that's for having an offset account, and a couple of Apple subscriptions. It's the $2,616. That's a good month. I must remind you that our mortgage is still on our very last month of our mortgage being on a very low fixed rate. So next month I am expecting our mortgage payments to increase. Next we have our grocery shopping. So I actually looked back at my last video from October 2024, which I did the same format as this, everything we spent in October. And for food we spent $2,253, and that was us as a family of 5. And yeah, we have been trying really hard over the last few months to get that down because it's just ridiculous. That was more than our mortgage payment, absolutely crazy. And we're doing it. So food in the month of March, we've actually only spent $1,786. So that's $467 less than what we spent in October. So we've just been doing more batch cooking, and also we just had a stock of stuff in our freezer, which I'm really trying to get through as well. Yeah, so it's just amazing that how you can save money in the home just by using up what you've got. We're doing our usual Big Woolly shops to get the 14% off. So we get our 10% off with our, if you have insurance, or you can sign up to the everyday rewards subscription thing. So we'll do an online big shop, get 10% off, and then I'll also be paying on my gift cards, which gives us the extra 4% off. On my big 3 Woolly shops, I'll get 14% off, which is a lot of money. So in total, at Woolies, we actually only spent on groceries $1,033. I say only, still a lot of money, but yeah, it lasts us a long time. You're just going to be smart with your shopping. And then we always do our little top-up shops at Aldi. We have a convenient IGA just down the road, so we do sometimes have to pop in there. Basically, it's always milk, bread and fruit that we buy there. And I've also did a few shops at Coles because they had some good offers on half-price items. So we're definitely shopping smarter and just trying to have less food waste and looking out for those deals, doing the big shop at Woolies to get the big discount, and then top-up shops at Aldi. And I'm finding this is working well for us. So yeah, so I'm really happy that we have managed to bring this down. It's $1,800, so it's just under $1,800. which is still a lot of money, but it's less than 2,000. Do let me know in the comments below how much you spend on your groceries. I always find it really interesting to kind of see how much people are spending. And my next video will be a grocery haul. So yeah, let's get comparing and getting ideas together on how we can save money, because it is just crazy. Next we have our bathroom supplies. We only spent $65 in the month of March, so that included nighttime nappies in there, some toothbrushes, some toothpaste, some hand soap. Next is our cleaning supplies, and we spent $53 in the month of March. So this will include, we just bought some Ziploc bags, some bin bags, and laundry powder, and some softener, and paper towel. More bin bags in there, I expect. I seem to go through a lot of bin bags. So yeah, so that came to $53. Next is our health expenses. So in here we have our fortnightly private health insurance, which is $76 a fortnight. So we spent $152 in March, and then we've just got some bits and bobs that we bought at the pharmacy. So that came to $94. So in total it's $246 for our health supplies. Now on to petrol, and in the month of March we spent $265. So Tiggy is my car, and I put in $235, and my husband only put in $30. So he really only uses his car just to drive to work and back, and literally it's like a 10-15 minute drive, so he really doesn't use that much. Yeah, it's pretty standard. We didn't have any major big trips in March. We were just still kind of zipping around doing our usual day-to-day weekend out kind of trips. So yeah, $265. Next categories was our cars. So that would be like the car maintenance, like rego, insurance, that kind of things, and school costs, which is anything that the kids need for school. So luckily in March we had a big fat zero for both of those, cars and school. So yeah, that was a good one. Daycare is next, and we spent $285 in the month of March. I actually looked back to see what we spent in October, and we spent $720. So in 2025 my youngest started kindy, so he does like a 5-day fortnight, and this has been great. It's really saved on daycare costs. I mean, the month of October we spent $720, and the month of March we're spending $285. That's a saving of $435. We don't use the daycare every day. We just have, they go to after school club, all three of them, just one afternoon a week, and then we have my youngest just does 1 day at daycare, just so I can get some work bits done while the other kids are at school. So he doesn't really do a full day, he just does the school hours day. So yeah, so $285, so much better, so much better. Next we've got exercise costs. So at the moment, because it was our first term back at school for 2025, the kids are just doing swimming, just as they adjust back into term 1. And also my family were here to visit for about a month, so that kind of took up our time as well. So we didn't want to add on extra sports this month, so hopefully we're going to do it in term 2. So we just stuck with the swimming. So the kids swimming came to $316. That's for 3 kids, and they do 1 lesson a week. And yeah, brilliant. State Swim, we really highly recommend using them. And then we've also got the Arc, which is like the local recreation centre, and that's just my husband's gym membership, which we pay fortnightly, and that's $34.60 a fortnight. So in total for exercise costs we spent $385 in the month of March. If you know on my channel that myself and my husband, we both have pocket money. It's basically we get $500 each month, and it's up to us how we spend it. This is such a great way to do it. Like, we can have a joint account, share all our expenses, but then when it comes to certain things that maybe one person doesn't agree the other person should spend it on, this gives us the flexibility, the freedom to make those purchases at your own will. So my husband is very much into his cycling and spends a lot on his bike stuff, and I like going on holidays, and recently I've just started to buy some Bitcoin, which is just like a little hobby at the moment, and we'll see how it goes. We've been doing pocket money for, oh my goodness, like at least 5 years. probably more than that, and it just works really, really well. General spending is next. This category always ends up being quite high. It's basically our disposable income. We've paid all our essential needs, which we need for the house and to feed the kids and, you know, do all the things like that and run our cars. And now it's kind of like a bit of fun money in here, but also just kind of other small essentials that we would like for ourselves. So yeah, let's have a look through. Back in October, we spent $1,257 on general items, and in the month of March we've brought it down to $843, and we still had some great days out, so I'm really happy. I think we're just being so much more conscious on what we're spending it on. I would say it's just more mindful spending, and yeah, I feel so much better. I'm feeling great because we're like saving money and not just wasting it on rubbish. As I told you, my family were over visiting, and we went over to Caversham Wildlife Park, and we got some drinks, and that was our entry fees, and some ice cream. So in total we spent $139 at Caversham. Well, my husband got a new toiletry bag because he had a work trip that he needed to get a new one for. That was $32. We got some frisbees at Anaconda. I think we got about 3 or 4 of them for $18. They've actually been quite a lot of fun actually. We've been like playing with them down the beach, so yeah, I was pretty happy with those. We went to Gage Roads with my family while they were visiting, so that was just like a brewery. Lovely massive playground there right on the ocean front. It's in Fremantle in Perth, and we spent $132. So we got 3 kids meals, 3 kid ice creams, 2 adult meals and 2 adult drinks. So at that time, myself and my husband were not drinking alcohol, so that also helped keep the cost down because alcohol is crazy as well. So yeah, so that was $132. And then we've just got a couple of snacks that my husband purchased. We also went to Dome with my family and spent $20, so I think we just had coffees there. Another little snack. We also stopped at McDonald's and spent $11. Then we also got my dad a Yeti flask for his birthday, and we got my son a chug lid for the Yeti bottles. I don't actually own a Yeti bottle. I think I'm the only person that doesn't own one. Yeah, so I spent $68 on that. We also went to a cafe in Fremantle, so we spent a few dollars there. We've got parking for $17. We also went to a Japan festival, so that was in Perth City, and we decided it was a completely free festival. It was absolutely wonderful. They had lots of they had a massive stage, and they had lots of dancers and shows on there, and it was just all free entertainment, so I really enjoyed it. So we decided we would buy some food because they had all the food trucks up there. So we did take a few snacks in case the kids didn't like the Japanese food, but they had a good time. My youngest got some candy floss. I'll show you a picture just here. Very fun. So we spent $62 on some food trucks there for dinner. My husband got a haircut, $40. So expensive. Another little McDonald's trip. We also went to Rottnest Island. Now we've brought the Red Rider Pass, which gives you 10 free trips to Rottnest, like return ferries. So we just, every time we go now, all we have to do is pay the national park fee. So for 5 of us to go, it's $72. So we went there for the day. We actually went to Frankie's on Rottnest Island, which is a lovely restaurant, and we spent $153 on dinner for everybody. Target, I picked up Cakey's Cousins, which are like these little cuddly toys. Last year I purchased some Gabby Dollhouse tickets to go and see her show, and I really knew that when we get there the kids would want to buy something, because they sell all that merch that's just totally overpriced. So luckily it came in a pack of 3. It was half price for $9, so I thought perfect, they can just have one of those each. I gave them those and got them some candy. So overall it was just like probably a fraction of the price that we were going to spend on the merch at the event. I also picked up some chopping boards because we've been using, I realised we had a lot of plastic ones and they were just looking disgusting, so I picked us up some bamboo chopping boards, which I'm just waiting to arrive. And I also picked up myself a new apron for $8. So overall we spent $843. I think this shows you like what goes into our general category, kind of things that maybe it's not necessary, but you know, you've got to spend some things and have a good time in life as well, and just to get out the house. So it's great. So $843 the month of March. Next is kids, and in the month of March we spent $76. I remember this, I actually picked up a bunch of clothes for them, and it was end of summer season sale in Target. They had these t-shirts and shorts, and they were all marked down like 80% off. Like t-shirts were like $2 or $3 each. They were really good. So I actually picked so much stuff up, and they wear it for so long in Australia, like the summertime. So we have a stack of clothes, packed it away, ready to be pulled out hopefully in October. So yeah, we spent $76 on some next season summer clothes. As I mentioned before, we're actually planning to move house in 2025. So I have started a new category, kind of more just for 2025, called moving expenses. I think I just want to keep track of what we're actually spending and making sure we're not going overboard. So in the month of March we spent $589. So we've actually got a small storage unit which we're paying $240 a month, and I'm finding it really helpful. Like kind of every couple of weeks we're packing some more boxes up, like we're decluttering, packing, sending it there. So when we do have the big moving day, everything is going to be pretty much ready to go. We also had spent $327 at Anaconda on camping chairs. We got some like kind of pretty decent ones. So our sofas were over 12 years old, I think, and the children have been using them as trampolines. So we've decided that they were just awful. They were literally, the springs were just coming out, or there's a big dip in it. Yep, it was just like eating you up basically. So we had a Verge collection last weekend, and we just decided to put them out because we knew we were not going to take them with us. And the Verge collection is the free one. It was actually the last free one in our council, so we really wanted to make the most of it. So we put them out there, and yep, you can see in this little video here of them being eaten up and taken away. I'm sure people think we're mad that we have no sofas and we now have camping chairs in our lounge, but I think it's more motivation to find a house and move. So, and how much easier is it going to be to pack camping chairs rather than 2 big sofas? Okay, and then we just spent $22 at Bunnings. Yep, so moving expenses came to $589 in the month of March. Now in miscellaneous, we've got in here, my husband had to renew his driving license, so you do that every 5 years, and that was $164. I think these are the kind of expenses that just kind of pop up, that when they happen once every 5 years, you're kind of, oh, kind of forgot about that. So I kind of knew it was coming up in 2025. I kind of picked up on that at the end of last year, so we knew it was coming. But yeah, it's just these little things that pop up, don't they? And they take a bit of your money again. So yeah, so $164 for our miscellaneous. So that is everything that we spent in March. So I hope that's helped you kind of give you an idea of what an average household is spending. And if you made it here, it means you made it to the end of my video this week. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you got time to give me a like, I'd love it. See you soon, guys. Bye.